There was a hunter in the village of Umuokoro named Chukwudi.
Everyone feared him.
Not because he was the strongest man in the village, but because he was known for one thing. He never returned from the forest without something dying.
For 15 years, Chukwudi had haunted the forests surrounding Umuokoro. He knew every path, every stream, every cave, and every tree.
But there was one thing even Chukwudi feared: the story of the Black Forest.
Never enter the Black Forest after sunset.
They said strange things happened there. Hunters disappeared, animals were found with their bodies untouched, but their hearts missing.
And sometimes, villagers claimed they heard someone calling their names from deep inside the trees.
You people still believe those old stories?
But Chukwudi laughed at the stories.
Until the day his younger brother, Obinna, disappeared.
Obinna was 17. Unlike Chukwudi, he hated hunting. He loved farming and wanted to leave the village someday to study in the city.
But Chukwudi, why do you always ignore me? Why do you treat everyone like they are beneath you?
You are becoming too brave for someone who has never provided anything for this family.
Those words broke Obinna. That same night, he disappeared.
The villagers searched everywhere.
Obinna!
3 days passed. Then, on the 4th morning, Chukwudi found Obinna's sandal beside the entrance of the Black Forest.
Chukwudi, don't go in there. My brother is in there.
He grabbed his gun and entered the forest. At first, everything was normal. But after walking for nearly an hour, Chukwudi noticed something strange. There were footprints in the mud. Human footprints. He followed them. Then, he saw something hanging from a tree. It was Obinna's shirt.
Obinna!
No answer. He walked deeper into the forest.
Nothing.
Chukwudi. Who is there? Chukwudi.
But this time, it sounded like his dead father. Years earlier, Chukwudi's father had died mysteriously inside the same forest. Everyone believed he had been killed by a wild animal. But Chukwudi had always suspected otherwise. He followed the voice, and eventually, he reached a clearing. There stood an old, abandoned hut. Inside, he found something that made his blood run cold. Obinna's shoes.
You finally came.
Chukwudi wanted to run.
Do you know why your father died here? No. Look!
Buried beneath the leaves was an old wooden box. Inside were hunting knives, photographs, and several small pieces of clothing.
Your father did not die because of an animal. Who? You.
That is impossible.
Nnamdi explained that when Chukwudi was 16, he had followed his father into the forest during a hunting trip.
His father had discovered that Chukwudi had secretly been killing animals simply for pleasure. They argued.
Chukwudi became angry, and he pushed his father. Chukwudi ran away in fear. But he never told anyone. The villagers believed an animal had killed him. Nnamdi had witnessed everything. He had kept silent. Until now.
What happened to Obinna?
He discovered the truth.
Chukwudi rushed inside. Obinna was there.
Obinna! Why did you do it, Chukwudi?
Chukwudi couldn't answer. Obinna had discovered their father's death while searching through old belongings.
He had confronted Chukwudi. And Chukwudi, terrified that his secret would be exposed, had brought him into the forest and abandoned him.
But he hadn't expected Nnamdi to find him.
Then suddenly, Nnamdi took Chukwudi's gun.
Today, the hunter becomes the hunted.
Chukwudi ran. He sprinted through the forest, branches scratched his face, thorns tore his clothes. He had spent years hunting animals through these woods. Now, for the first time in his life, something was hunting him. He ran until he reached the river. There was nowhere else to go. Nnamdi appeared behind him.
Please. You spent years believing that being feared made you powerful. I was wrong, I know. Your punishment is not death. Then what is it? You will live long enough to face the people you hurt.
The next morning, Nnamdi returned to Umuokoro with Chukwudi and Obinna. Before the entire village, the truth about their father was revealed. He confessed everything. The villagers were shocked. The man they had praised for years as a brave hunter had been hiding a terrible secret. But the greatest shock came when Obinna stepped forward.
I don't want my brother dead. I want him to live. Because every day he wakes up remembering what he did, that will be his punishment.
Chukwudi broke down in tears. For the first time, the strongest hunter in Umuokoro was no longer feared. He was simply a broken man asking for forgiveness. And from that day forward, Chukwudi never entered the forest with a gun again. He became a farmer.
And whenever children asked him, "Why did you stop hunting?"
A hunter who forgets that every creature has a life may one day discover that he is not the only one doing the hunt.
And that became the lesson Umuokoro never forgot. The person who spends his life hunting others should never become too confident that he can never be hunted himself. Sometimes, the greatest lesson comes when we are finally forced to face ourselves. And sometimes, the hunter discovers that he was never truly in control.